1800s, four brothers did come to a land in the south, to a bright shining sun. They heard there was work here with citrus and beer. 'Twas a land full of plenty, they could raise some kids here. These brothers were rugged, a real sturdy crew. They liked to have fun, even made their own brew. They knew how to fight to defend their own sight. Strong bodies and minds, they overcame every plight. They traveled for miles, these brothers called lions. They galloped on horses through rough, rugged courses, sometimes in trains across the plains, sometimes in boats on water they float. They never lost hope. They never lost hope. J.W. met Luella, married love, it was true. He was a hard worker, many jobs he pursued. From citrus to trucking, to ranching cows, he would yell to a boarding house now called the Lyos Hotel. Marvin was a manager of 2 citrus groves. He built his nice home on Bonita Beach Road. He met his love Effie, she too said I do, and soon there were children added to this clan too. They traveled for miles, these brothers called lions. They galloped on horses through rough, rugged courses, sometimes in planes, across the plains, sometimes in boats on water they float. They never lost hope. They never lost hope. Lawrence lost his hand in a big cotton gin, but that didn't stop him from working back then. He picked citrus, was a teacher, was a postmaster too, a moonshine distiller, and some ranching did do.
He works for the city, he'll take care of you.
Carson never built a home, he chose just to rent, but 'twas a hard worker, many hours he spent fixing small engines and sewing machines too, and like his brother Lawrence was a bachelor too. They traveled for miles, these brothers called lions. They galloped on horses through rough, rugged courses, sometimes in trains across the plains, sometimes in boats on water they float. They never lost hope. 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 Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to begin with our first candidate. Since we're going alphabetically. So I'd like to introduce to you Joseph Cofield.
Well, first of all, I want to thank my mom for giving me the letter C so I get an opportunity to go first. Well, I really want to thank you all for coming out here today, and I want to especially give thanks to Madam President and all of you members of the Bonita Springs Historical Society Council, and of course my dear friend and campaign manager Rick, and my lovely adopted mom Jean Stanmeyer. If it wasn't for Jean, Thank you. If it wasn't for Jean, I probably wouldn't be standing in front of you all here today, because not only did she welcome me as a member of the church, but she welcomed me as a member of the community of Southwest Florida. And as, oh, that's okay. Thank you. I don't have to bend so much now. Thank you. She not only introduced me as a member of the church, she introduced me as a member of the community. And Jean said, you must become involved in the community with which you live. And that has stayed with me in the 15 years that I have been here in Southwest Florida. And now I'm at that stage where I feel as though I need to give a little teeny bit more. Why did that come in? Because I spent 21 years in the U.S. Army, and that makes you think that you can do everything and should do everything, and you should become involved within the community and society by which you live. I have strived to do that. By the way, how many minutes do I have here? Because my wife told me, stay within the limits of what they have for you to talk, because you have been known to stay all day, and and before you know it, no one else had a chance. I told her that in this case, I wanted to do that so the next person will have an opportunity to talk. But I know, to be fair, I cannot do that. And my good friend Martha Simon's out here, she will beat me up in the future, so I would not do that. Now, why do I want to get elected here in Bonita Springs? Well, I would tell you, I want to get elected here in Bonita Springs because there is no better community to live and to work. I have worked in this community for 14 years. I've been a teacher, as most of you know, at Bonita Springs Middle School, and I have enjoyed every moment there at at history. That is correct. And that's what drove me to this society in the first place. Once upon a time, my students wanted to know, what can we do, Mr. Kofiol said, sit in this classroom and learn about history. And then I learned that there was a historical society right across from us, from the middle school. So I wandered over here one day, being nosy, and Rick had told me about it a million times. But of course, you know my friend Rick, he talks and he talks and he talks and he talks. And so this is one time I'm glad I listened to him, because he told me about the Bonita Springs Historical Society, and that was one of the best things that have happened to me. Because when I learned about the Historical Society, it made me learn a little bit more about history within Southwest Florida, and most importantly, it helped me to understand those things that my professors at Florida Gulf Coast University was attempting to try to tell me. And it also made the history of Florida come alive for me. Because now teaching the students was almost teaching me, because I come from the state of North Carolina. And of course, I know a lot about the North Carolina history. And now I'm happy to say I know a lot about the Florida history. And I was given the opportunity to test that knowledge just last week. I was up in Tampa for the Florida Historical Council. And I would tell you that I would not have been bold enough to do that if I didn't have the confidence that I started right here with Rick, right on this stand here, saying how much the historical societies makes a difference in the communities. And I said, you know what? I have now given my students an opportunity to be the youth mayor of Bonita, but I haven't taken that leap myself. I have been campaigning for Rick, and I got him elected. And now, Joseph, it's time for you to take that leap. You've been all the way up to the Florida Historical Society. You have impressed those people across the way. Now come back and put that knowledge back into the community and help Bonita Springs grow a little bit more. And this is why I want to become your mayor of Survey. Now, I took a very personal interest in the McSwain House. For those of you that see my pictures, that seen my little postcard, my little business card that I passed around, I done that for a purpose, and that was to grow awareness on the McSwain House, because I was very impressed with the fact that we are restoring our historical houses, and I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that by being your mayor of Survey, so that I can tell everybody about it. And now, to keep into focus of what my wife said, make it short, Joseph, make it short, and people will remember what you said. You know, Abraham Lincoln had that same problem. He said, if I make this speech so short, what is going to happen? People's not going to remember. But that's not true. Everybody remembers the Gettysburg Address. And so hopefully when you leave here today, I would not have talked so much that you would fail to remember what I wanted you to know. Now, all those things that I've told you before is good. But let me tell you what really near and dear to my heart. When I got into this community, and I told you my good friend and my adopted mother, Jean, told me that I had to be a part of the community. Well, not only that, but Pastor Tom, bless his heart, he grabbed me by the arm just like I was in the military again. This is what you're going to do. You're going to make Christus Victor Lutheran Church valuable in the community. And I said, oh man, it sounds like my drill sergeant again. And I'm glad he did that, because if he didn't, I would not have been part of the community. That little church decided that what it was going to do was to adopt a role in Bonita. And bless his heart, he knew that I had no idea about any of these streets in Bonita. So he said, why don't you take on that street called Old 41? And it sounded exciting to me because I've been driving on 41. And I said, what on the other side? I never came on the other side. And I think Pastor Tom knew that as well. So what happened is I signed up to clean the streets of Old 41 without having been walking it before. And when I got there, I was in for a pleasant surprise. I want to tell you that I was not impressed with that street when I first walked it and tried to clean it up. We stood at the place of old Benson grocery store, and we spent an hour there just trying to make a difference at that little fence. But I can tell you today, after working on that street for 14 years with the church, 12 years with the city, this city, Old 41, is a pleasant place to live and to walk. And you know what? We're going to make this city the cleanest city in the nation. This is why I'm going to want to be the mayor survey. I will guarantee you that in 2013, as your mayor survey, working with the council member of Bonita Springs, working with every organization like the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club, and every club that call themselves nonprofit members of Bonita Springs, by February the 15th, we will have every single person identified as being one of the 44,377 members of citizens of Bonita involved in cleaning up our street. And what's going to happen after February? I had never been more excited about the city cleanup than coming February 2013, because at this time, led by Mayor Nelson, who is the chief of our city, led by Joseph Cofield, who would then be the mayor of Survey, we are going to come together, bring the old and the new, and Bonita will be the cleanest city in the United States of America. And I'm going to tell you, we're not going to stop there. In 2014, when my term ends, we will have Bonita Springs Middle School. We're already that far. We will have Bonita Springs the cleanest city in the world. And that will be a promise to you. That's a promise, because you know what? We can do this. If 14 years ago, I walked that street and was ashamed to go on it, and Pastor Tom almost had to push me to keep my commitment, and now I walk that street and I bring everybody that will come with me side by side to walk this street, not only to see that nice park that we got out there, but see how clean our streets are. It is a pride and joy to become the mayor of Survey. And Rhonda, have I overstepped my time yet? Okay, I got one other thing to tell you. I got two other things to tell you. Being a member of the community is very important to me. Being part of the community, it started with me long when I was a youth growing up, my parents told me that you must make a difference in this place that you live. You just can't participate. You have to be a part of, and you must make a difference. And when I came here in Southwest Florida, bless my wife heart, she would never leave Southwest Florida. So I decided that I might well try to make a difference in Southwest Florida. And this, my good friends, will give me an opportunity to have a soapbox for real. Because as Martha can probably tell you, we have been side by side cleaning up that street month, year after year. But 2013 is going to be very special because not only the people of Southwest Florida going to know this, not only the people of Lee County, not only people Henry County, not only people of Collier County, not only those people here in our immediate area, but everybody in the state will know, because as soon as I become the mayor or survey, I'm going to shoot out that letter telling the people from DC on down to the world that Bonita Springs, the former survey, is without a doubt the cleanest city in the world. And guess what? That's going to bring people here to see, because they want to be able to see this. And when they see, they will not leave, because this is really paradise. This is absolutely paradise. And I know all of you probably have looked in this book that we have called the Bonita history book. I was up in Tallahassee, and I looked up there and I didn't see our book. I saw books from all of the other 6 or 7 counties. And I told the, this is how much I love our city. I told the people, well, this is not fair. I see a book of Collier County here. I see a book of Lee County here, but I don't see, Fort Myers. I don't see a book of Bonita. And guess what? I made an order some. And that's just the kind of pride that I think that I would take to as the mayor survey, because just like Martha and all those council members that's fired up about Bonita, well, I'm going to be fired up about survey, our history, and telling everybody that this is the place to be. And when they get here, they're not going to see a survey, they're going to see Bonita. But then they're going to want to know the history, because they're going to know that mayor that's been talking all about survey, what do they have? And I will be brief by telling you that if most of you know that Bonita is part of Lee County School District. Well, I was up in the district yesterday, and on Friday, and I looked on the wall, and it had a picture of a school in 1900. And that school was the school of survey. And so, of course, I quizzed a few of the people in the district about that school. And guess what? No one knew about it. But guess what? When I left that district at 3:30, everybody was buzzing about survey. And they said, why are you so interested about that picture? I said, I'm interested about that picture because today at 1300, at 1 o'clock, I will be on this soapbox, and I will tell everybody within listening sight that little school in 1900, and actually it was 1912, where the first school lady was in charge of the school. And now we look at Bonita Springs Elementary School, which is one of the pride of our community. We look at Bonita Springs Middle School, which is the A+ school. And we look to the future where we're going to have our high school here in Bonita one day. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Because all those people that coming just to see the cleanest city in the world, guess what? They're going to stay here. They're going to leave their money here. And we will move from the cleanest city in the nation to the cleanest city in the world. It can be done. It will be done. And as the mayor of Survey, I will lead the way. I will definitely lead the way. Oh yeah, I'm gonna celebrate 2 ways in this year. I'm gonna celebrate with my PhD in my back pocket finally, and I'm gonna celebrate by being the mayor of Survey. That's gonna be a great honor for me, and you all gonna make it possible for me. You're gonna make me. I'm gonna be dancing in the street for my PhD anyway. You might as well let me dance a little bit more along with the being the mayor of Survey. And you might as well let me dance into 2013 as our city become the cleanest city in the United States of America. I want to thank Rick, I want to thank Jane, and I want to thank you all that have supported me. And those of you that are thinking about supporting me, and those of you that are not going to support me because you have your loyalty someplace else, that's okay. We still going to have the cleanest city in the nation because it can't be stopped. This has been in motion since 10 years ago when the city said, we're going to do this. And I think Mayor Nelson, with his pickup truck, he didn't know what he was getting into. This city, it will be the cleanest city in the world. Now, Rick had did me one favor as a campaign manager. He said, Joseph, I'm tired of you bugging me about money. What I would do today, all the money that you collect today, I would match that money. So you all know Rick got a lot of money. So please fill those 3 buckets. It got my picture on it. It got Fifth and Third Bank on the other side. And I've been bugging Fifth and Third Bank to become a sponsor of Bonita Historical Society. Fill up that bucket so that we can get some of that money out of Rick's pocket and put it in the Bonita Spring Historical Society where it belongs. Thank you all for your support.
It all goes to the historical.
It all goes to the Historical Society. Hey, I think I said last time, but forgive me, Rhonda, because this is really the last one. I got a check in the mail today for $50 from one of my good friends, Mary Beth Andrus, and I told her that I would make sure that I mention her name in this speech today.
My neighbor.
Is your neighbor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're really gonna dance now. Hey, Martha, you can tell her that I kept my promise.
Too.
Well,
We'll be taking that off the bill.
I look forward to being your mayor. Thank you so very much for listening.
There we have it, the cleanest city in the world. Yay, Mr. Cofield. So feel free to dig deep in your pockets and contribute what you can. And now to introduce our next candidate, Bill Simons. I know he had to take a phone call.
He gave me something I can read. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap historic buildings at a single bound.
Look! It's a bird!
No, it's a plane.
No, it's a bird. Okay, actually, but look, here's our superhero now. Who is it? It's Survey Man. Yes. Oh, gee. Oh, Survey Man, listen, you get up here, Survey Man.
Survey Man!
Good to see you, Survey. Oh my God, you're adorable. Yes, it's Survey Man, strange visitor from another planet who came to survey with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Survey Man, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands. Okay. And who disguised as Bill Simons, mild-mannered husband of great metropolitan councilwoman, fights for justice, truth, and American history. Gee, Survey Man, it's swell to have you here. Can you tell us about your superpowers? Get up on the soapbox, you can read it. I'm sorry. we didn't really work this.
Yes. While Superman has X-ray vision, I can time travel into the past. I can see the kingdom of the Calusas, the pioneers of survey. I can even see Great Caesar's ghost.
Woo, Survey Man. Survey Man, that is absolutely amazing. Yes, Survey Man, it is. What is your mysterious secret to entering the invisible time portals into the past?
Yes, my special secret. I go to history museums and I surf the internet.
Oh, right, history. That is so awesome. Golly gosh. Survey Man, I know your keen powers have awed many over the years, but tell us, what's the toughest heroic feat you have yet to perform?
As a man of steel, I can stop a wrecking ball with my bare hands. The toughest feat is, though, is taken 6 years of superhuman powers to achieve. We must have a demolition delay ordinance. This we must do, and I am here to help.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Jeepers, Superman. That would be wonderful. We look forward to seeing that. Next question. We all know that kryptonite made Superman lose his powers. Is there one thing that weakens your superpower Survey Man? Not Superman, Survey Man.
Just one. Taco Bell cheese enchiladas. With fire sauce.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Survey Man, I completely understand what that's all about. So now, you are not alone. So now please tell us, as the mayor, how will you serve the thriving metropolis of Survey? There you go, there's a big speech.
Friends of Survey, the S on my chest is for Survey. I am a hero for Survey. I live here amongst you. My superhuman gift to save your city is simple, but it's powerful. I am here to inspire and bring to your planet the following message. Even though it seems that it will take the powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, those powers to save Survey are within all of you. You must take hold of those powers, and together you will make this great metropolis shine. Your history is a history of humanity, of determined beings who are in the ordinary life created an extraordinary history. Each person being a thread that weaves an important tapestry of culture and life. It is true of those who lived here before you and of you who stand here today. The history of your planet is worthy of saving, and you have already made a choice to take on this heroic feat. I am here to help. Appearing in his blockbuster movie, Superman Returns, the great Superman said this: You will be different. You will be different. Sometimes you feel like an outcast, but you'll never be alone. You will make my strength your own. You will see my life through your eyes, as your life will be seen through mine. Always hold in your heart the pride of your special heritage. Those were the words of our superhero who inspired your entire planet. I will be honored to be your mayor and do the same for you. Thank you.
Give it up for Survey Man.
The son of J.W. from a pioneer day. Back when Bonita was the town of Survey, there were just 5 families back at that time, and they were all determined to make life fine. When Glenn came along, the town was bigger then. He watched his brothers and sisters like a mother hen. Reginald, Alice, Alma, Lester, Evelyn. Life was so busy for this boy named Glenn. Raised in the Depression, and at 10 years old, he was a hard worker doing what he was told. He helped his brother Lester bundle papers on his route, and at the bus stop turned the crank, roasting peanuts out. He was what you call determined. We all knew he was a firm man. No wishy-washy ever showing. He always knew where he was going. He passed his genes down to his children, even to his children's children. When people see them, they just smile. I bet they're from a determined lion. He was a rancher riding horses and working the cows. No task could ever beat him, he could do it somehow. But to be postmaster was his dream since a boy. After the army, got his wish with much joy. When people needed help, they could count on Glenn. He was unstoppable, they always called on him. A man of character, a man of honesty. He loved the Lord his God, honored his deity. He married his sweetheart, a girl named Blanche. His sons Byron and Alan built his homes where he ranched. Once Byron was asked to describe his dad using one word, if one word's all you had. He quickly said, determined. He was what you call determined. We all knew he was a firm man. No wishy-washy ever showing. We always knew where he was going. He passed his genes down to his children, even to his children's children. When people see them, they just smile. I bet they're from a determined lion. Now to end this story in the form of a song, just one more thought and it won't take too long. The legacy Glenn left keeps him near, never far, passing down to generations. His love is deep in our hearts.